Welcome to Moments of Motherhood. I'm Bailey.
And I'm Torie. Join us in creating community through shared experiences and candid conversations.
We hope to bring you laughter, comfort, and solidarity in this journey of motherhood.
This is our virtual village.
Welcome back to Moments of Motherhood. I'm Bailey.
And I'm Torie. And welcome to season 2 after our long hiatus.
Yeah, sorry we abruptly ended season 1. I think Torie and I both had high expectations of how summer would go. And
which is good.
Yes. High expectations are always great, but not necessarily our reality of what happened.
Yeah. There was just a lot going on. There was a lot of travel, a lot of life things happening, and a lot of family time.
Yeah, we both had a lot of family time, which I think was really great.
And I think we just prioritized really just trying to be present, which is what we have been saying on the podcast previously. So, yeah, we put this on the back burner for a while.
Yeah, sorry to keep everyone on hold and waiting without even giving you an ounce of answers.
I know. Even on our Instagram, we just, one day, I was just like, okay, we're just pausing.
Yeah.
I don't have any extra energy to give to this. And I think that's fine.
Yeah, I do too. Totally. That's what I think both Torie and I are really good at honoring ourselves and where we need to be in life. That could be seen as a downfall because I know some people would push right through and be like, we're having a successful podcast. But I think our goal for this is really to have it be about balance, and we want to keep it our happy place and not be a burden. So if it was feeling overwhelming at any point, we both wanted to take a step back and be able to recenter our focus.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we each have 3 kids plus extra.
Yeah, over the summer we had how many?
You had 20 kids.
I had 7 kids almost all summer. So it was a lot more than I was expecting. And I think when the olders were younger, before I had mine, it was easy over the summer because they were still 6, 7, 8, and we could do fun things. And I still had time. They were still pretty independent. But to have the bigs and the littles is a harder balance than I was expecting this summer.
Yeah, you have to meet everyone's needs.
Yeah, and the bigs have friends and want to go here and there, and
oh my gosh,
it was a lot.
Yeah, you have full-on preteens, so.
Yeah, and teenagers. Trey's 14 this week.
Oh.
Which is crazy.
Preteen, teens, and babies. Yeah, and toddlers and preschool.
So crazy.
You have one of each.
Yeah, pretty much. It's nuts.
Yeah, so I think we're just going to sort of do a little catch-up episode to get back into the swing of things, give you guys some life updates, and share about where we're at now and some exciting things that have come up for us. And yeah, just sort of try to get back into our podcast flow.
Yeah, I think I don't even remember where we left off. We had recorded a travel episode and never actually posted it.
Yeah.
I think we were both a little edgy during that.
Yeah.
It was a day before we were leaving and packing.
It was so hectic. Both that time period and the episode, I think it was just, we were both, this is so chaotic. Let's just keep that in the files, and maybe we'll pull out some gems someday from that.
Bloopers.
Yeah. But yeah, we both traveled over the summer.
Yeah, we went back to New York. How was your trip overall, would you say? You were there for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I was there for 2 full weeks, and overall it was, so great. I love being in New York in the summer. I love spending time with my family. I love the boys seeing their cousins. We did end up getting sick again. I feel like when we travel, we always get sick, but knock on wood, from here on out, we are never getting sick when we travel again.
You aren't.
I'm just gonna keep repeating that mantra. Overall, though, it was really good, and the boys had an epic time. Travel was hard. The travel day was hard, but it was doable, and I did it, and it's all good.
You really are such a champ for that. I could not hang, and you really pushed through. I don't know what kind of perseverance you have in your system, but it's next level.
I have to like do or die. I'm like, that's the only thing I can think of when I'm traveling.
Okay.
But yeah, I have the do or die mentality of like, okay, I have the choice of surrendering and crying and like not making it to my destination, or I have the option to just like put my eyes in front of me and forge on.
Yeah.
Like a little soldier with all these little minions.
Good. I'm big on like, I'm going to cry in the corner and call my husband to save me.
Yeah.
And it like, I don't know. I used to have that mentality. I don't know what happened. It's gone. It is long gone.
It's just a lot. It's a lot. I'm really happy that Joe was with me on the way home. Yeah. Because my youngest did end up crying. He did so good the whole day, but he ended up crying like the last 20 minutes of the descent down into Portland. And, you know, you just like, all eyes are on you. And
I know.
There was nothing I could do. He didn't want to nurse. He didn't want food. He didn't want to play. Like, he was done, over it. And even though Joe wasn't sitting with us, because there's only 3 seats, so I had all 3 boys and me in one row, and then Joe was actually like in the row in front of us because they didn't sit our family together, which was just also really annoying. But I was really happy that he was there on the way home, because when we were getting off the plane, he just kept crying and crying and crying. Yeah. And people were moving so slow. So if you're ever flying, next time I'm really just going to go mama bear, and I'm going to be like, excuse me, we need to get off this plane. Like, please move aside.
No one wants to listen to this. Not even me, I promise.
Yeah. No, I felt so bad. I was like, you can see my baby's super upset and like really just wants to get off this plane, but we're standing in line and nobody's offering to let us go.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Them, so.
Even when there's announcements like, hey, we have people with a really short layover, please let them off first. Everyone's like standing around, and there's like clearly they're like, excuse me. And people still just stand around, like no one really cares, or I don't know. Usually is aware of their surroundings.
Yeah, usually if everybody's chill, like we stay seated. We just chill, because I'm like, there's no point in just being frantic about getting off the plane. When it's our time, we'll stand up, because that's like we're next in line. But all these people who just try to rush off the plane, unless you have a valid excuse to rush off the plane, it's really, especially with if you have a crying baby in your arms who's like literally like flailing.
I know, that's crazy.
You know, like trying to throw himself out of my arms. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Like, done. I'm really sorry, everyone. I don't know. Like, I literally can't do anything. So,
yeah. No.
But how was your travel?
I was really excited. We were able to match up our trips, even though we didn't get a ton of time together. I know. But we still got like a few good days together. And I think our trip was overall really great. My brother and I both decided that I think we want to buy our own place up there. Just it'd be a lot easier for me with all my children to be able to keep just clothes there and things, so we can go and stay and not have to stress out when I pack and not have to be in someone else's space, because let's be serious, 3 toddler boys is chaotic, and I have surrendered to the chaos, but family members who aren't used to it have not surrendered to the chaos. And I don't feel like it's necessarily fair to them or to the boys to be like, okay, boys, don't run around, or to them to be like, oh, my kids are going to jump off your furniture, you know, whereas at our house, I might be a little more lenient or, so there was a little bit of an adjustment period for that, but then it's just so nice being home and going to the beach and having family and being able to, you know, like there were so many mornings everyone was sleeping besides me and Miles, and I like hopped in the car and went to Jacqueline's and we just sat there braless, like drinking our iced coffee, watching the babies like play. And so as great as it was, it's really hard for me to go home after that. Like it's always such a depressing time when I come back to Seattle, which I can't believe I just called it home because I feel like I never call it home. But even though it is my home, I always say New York is home, like going home to New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was great when we were there. I just wish we could spend more time there and have our own space. Even going to the farmer's market and all the boys being able to play and seeing you guys and, you know, old teachers and just that small town feel. It's like nice to have familiarity.
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment for everyone. Like when we came back, the boys, they were happy to be home. They, you know, by the time 2 weeks had gone by, and they were saying, oh, I miss my bike. I can't wait to see June. I can't wait to go home and see our toys and, you know, all of those things. But it really is such an adjustment, like getting back here for them and getting back into their groove because, you know, we are around 10 other
all the kids
all like 24/7 all the time when we're in New York. So there's constantly a companion or something to do or someone knocking or someone going here or there. And it's it's like constant overstimulation almost for them. So yeah, we had like a recalibrating full 2 weeks probably after that, where it was pretty hard to adjust coming back home. So that's one of the things that's really hard about travel in general is like the coming off.
Yeah, I feel that. But for us, it's funny because the overstimulation is here in Seattle, right? We have 1,000 kids, 1,000 moving pieces. And when we go back to New York, it's kind of like they get to be the centers of attention and all the family like dotes on them and they get to go on the boat and go to camp. Kane asks like every 3 days, like, can you call Mimi and tell her to pick me up to take me to camp?
Oh,
and that just like breaks my heart. But yeah, so
I mean,
I think the timing we did was really great because it was like, okay, we just have to get into school mode.
Yeah,
there wasn't really time to sulk in it.
That's true. Yeah, same. Levi literally started kindergarten like 2 weeks after we got home.
How are you doing? I know so many moms listening probably. I feel like a lot of the people that listen also have just getting into school or maybe recent school-aged kids.
Yeah. I seriously don't feel like I'm old enough or mature enough to have a school-aged child.
I know.
Like, I'm supposed to be a mom with babies. And actually, Joe and I have said this before. We were talking in the car because we had to go to like an open house for Levi's school. And that was a big decision in and of itself. I was 100% pretty much on board with homeschooling. And then this opportunity came up for this outdoor, I'm just going to call it an outdoor school that's full-time. And I was going to do hybrid homeschooling with like a charter so that I could have help, but we didn't get accepted in time for this school year. So we went a different route. And so he's in a full-time school situation right now, which I sort of never really planned on. So that's been a super hard adjustment. But Joe and I were just saying like in the car for coming home from the parents' night that we were just supposed to have like toddlers. and preschoolers.
Yeah,
We're not.
when did this happen?
Yeah, when did this happen? How? This feels way too grown up.
No.
And I mean, it's different for you because, you know, you've had kids, like, even though they're your stepkids, it's still, you've like been through the experience. So you're in that world, but this is our first time going into this world, and it feels
really trippy.
It feels like such a trip.
Yeah, I feel as though with Trey and Jay, you look back at pictures and you're almost like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember them being this small, because you're so immersed in life right now that you don't necessarily see the process and see the growth. It's all of a sudden one day like, holy shit, Jada's taller than me and wears a size 10 shoe and is in women's medium clothes. How did this happen?
You're going to make me cry.
Like, you know, it just happens, and it just happens right before your eyes and you don't realize. So I totally feel that with you and Joe, especially with Levi.
I know.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And probably surreal.
Yeah, it is really surreal. It's still really, I mean, even though we're on week 3 already, it still feels weird to have him gone all day. And I don't honestly think that that's going to go away. Like, maybe it will. And I know that every mom has different experience. Some people can't wait for their kids to go back to school, and some people cry every day when their kids go to school, and then there's a mixture of both. I feel like if I had prepared myself better for just like knowing that this is what we were going to do with him, but I was just so on the fence up until sort of like the very last couple of weeks, in which I'm like, okay, we're either doing this or not, because I need to start talking to him about it and preparing him. And if I had maybe given myself like the whole summer to be prepared for him to be gone all day, I would feel a little bit better. But yeah, it's an adjustment for everybody. He honestly is loving it, so I feel really grateful there. He's not having a hard time. He's so happy. His teacher is really great. But I don't think that full-time regular school is sort of like the long-term plan for us. So that also makes me feel better. Joe and I definitely know that we want more flexibility.
Yeah.
In our family life in the coming years. This is just working for now. So
yeah, I do think right now, with you still having littles, it probably is a good way to help balance it out a little bit. And yeah, I like you not being able to mentally prepare, I think is hard, but also may have been a benefit, because imagine if all summer you were like, oh my gosh, my baby's leaving me.
I know.
Like, you know, it could have been a negative as well if you were looking at it that way. So maybe it was kind of out of sight, out of mind, and you were really able to be present with him and absorb it all. Look at it too. You know, and even though I am big on everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason that Levi's in this school, and no choice that you made would have been a bad choice.
Yeah.
And I think you and I have very similar values when it comes to like homeschooling and wanting flexibility, and I don't want to say having control of our kids, but kind of having control of our children.
I think that's one of the big ones to homeschool, right? Is you really have full say.
Yeah. But I think all the options you were weighing out were really great, and you couldn't have made a bad choice. And
I know. When you told me that, when I was having like a mental breakdown about it, that was so helpful to hear. Like, okay, no choice is a bad choice. She is so right. There's perks to both situations, and
and anything can change. Like, I think that being able to hold on to that, you still have control. If you want to take him out tomorrow, you can take him out tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, you still have control over the decision making and what you want him to learn and what you want him to do. And I don't know. I just hope
really
you're
grateful.
able to sit. Yeah. I hope you can sit in it and really be happy with your decision, because I know so many moms struggle with it.
Yeah.
And next year it'll be me.
Yeah, I mean, this
So
is, yeah, I couldn't have asked for two better options to be put in front of us for him. So, yeah,
I'm also jealous that we don't have the charter school option here. I reached out to
I know.
the two charter schools that are in the Seattle area, and they don't provide that option. It's only in person,
If,
full time.
I don't know where you're listening, but if you're considering homeschooling, maybe you're like in a completely random state, you should definitely check out if there are charter schools in your area. I learned this from one about the charter slash homeschool option from one of the moms that my big boys went to preschool with. That's what she's doing. And I was like, I didn't even know this option existed. Like, what is
So
this?
cool.
So amazing. It's publicly funded charter school that offers homeschooling families a chance to sort of do some of them do in-person school, and some of them offer just like online courses, but essentially they help you with teaching your kid, and they help you pick out curriculum, and they help you just sort of navigate the homeschooling world, and they support you through all the things, through all your child's learning. So
Yeah,
it's just
so
a really
cool.
good option if you want to go the homeschooling route, but you feel really lost or sort of scared to delve right into it. I think like that's sort of, I envision that's sort of our trajectory.
Yeah.
For future education is utilizing something like that in our area, because where Levi's at right now, it's just a first and second grade program, or sorry, kindergarten and first grade program. So if we do it next year, that would be his last year, and then I would need to make a different plan. But yeah,
I think to any moms that, or anyone that's listening that's curious about it, Torie and I both have just joined a bunch of homeschooling groups on Facebook and charters, like all the different options, unschooling, homeschooling. There's so many different variations, and helping to find resources in your area and help make a decision, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
I've learned so much, and I'm on a page that even posts like events for homeschooled kids and events for, whatever's going on in the area. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I might be jumping the gun a little, but I'm like stressed out about it already, trying to make a decision.
Oh my gosh, don't be stressed out about it. Just keep reading.
Yeah.
And looking into it. That's all you can do.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think what else. My mom spent the summer with us.
I know. So your mom was there, and then you got to go to New York with your mom and your nieces, and then you came back.
I brought my nieces with me. It was their first time there, which was so great.
Yeah.
They fell in love. They actually were like, we'd move back there. And I was like, really?
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, they were really cute. And they were super helpful on the way back. We were all kind of nervous about flying with the boys.
Oh my gosh.
And they're just, great. They're super helpful, and we had fun and got food and snacked. And
one day we will do an actual travel episode.
Yes, we will, for real.
Because I feel like we do have some good insight and different perspectives.
Yes, yeah. We both traveled so much with different ages and with help, without help, different distances. There's a lot to it, to say the least.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, so my mom was here. Ed had to do some NFL things, which created a little bit of hecticness in our life, but beneficial overall. Yeah. And Jada had soccer. She had tournaments in different states, and it was a crazy summer. Trey has grown and got an electric scooter, and him and his boys just like cruise the neighborhood. And
that brings me back.
I know. I was like, Trey, Torie broke her wrist. You need to be careful.
Yeah. Wear a helmet, please.
Oh, yeah. That was number one. He's good about it. He's not one of those kids that's too cool. He's just
right.
Like, okay. I think in Washington, you can get your permit at 15.
Yeah, you can. In Oregon, you can too.
Yeah. So next year, he's going to be driving. I mean, we've already been working on him with it. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's just really crazy. I can't. But it's cool because he's getting to the point where he's independent. If I need a ingredient for dinner that I forgot, he'll like hop on a scooter and go down to the store. And it's so nice. It's fun. So nice. And the conversations you get to have at that age are so fun. And that's just so life cool. changes. Yeah. It's really,
I'm not ready, but that's so nice and cool.
I think it's kind of nice because they aren't necessarily mine. Like I didn't birth him, so I'm not as sentimental to it. So it's kind of nice. And the girls are at a fun age. Drama, but fun age for the girls, and I'm happy I get to be there for them.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, summer was hectic. I had a little bit of guilt because by the end of summer I was like, shit, I'm ready for school to start. And I always felt icky, like when people would say that, like, I can't wait for school and, get rid of the kids. And I hated that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I want to get rid of my kids. It was just like, wow, I didn't realize how much 3 days of half-day preschool really does to benefit my sanity and give me a mental break of not having to entertain or clean up after disasters or whatever. So
totally. And we still both have one kid at home with us.
Yeah. So like I'm just totally on my own.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess I'm apologizing to all of the moms that I ever judged that had posted, because I feel like I've definitely seen posts like, oh my God, I can't wait till the kids go to school. Well, I now understand, and I don't blame you for saying that, because I don't think it's necessarily an ick. It's just like, holy crap, this was overwhelming and I'm not used to it. So
yeah, it's a whole different rhythm and flow, and it depends on how old your kids are too, right? Like, we all need breaks.
Yeah,
we all need breaks for our sanity.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of any other big life updates.
I know. Should we tell them the news
that we want to share?
We want to share?
As in I'm part of it.
Okay, well, since Torie let us in so gracefully.
Did I? Was that like a nice intro into this news? That should we just wait till the next episode?
Oh, should we? I don't know. We've been on 30 minutes.
I don't know. This is...
okay, I think we should wait. It's just such a big deal because it's already 30 minutes and I don't want to talk their ear off.
Yeah.
And I feel like this has a lot of discussion around it.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you think?
Yeah, we just have a big mom update to share.
Yeah, it's a really big life decision, and Ed and I have been trying to figure it out. I was like seeking advice from Torie, and it's just a lot. There's been a lot of changes. I've been in negotiations about moving. Like, there's just a lot of moving parts and decisions about buying property, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we do need to dedicate a little bit more time.
Episode.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it, guys. Maybe we'll even try. We won't make any promises, but we could potentially squeeze in an audio only episode sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you've had a lot of things come up, so this was like a brief like summer recap. I'm sad that my oldest is in kindergarten. I'm sad and so happy, and all of the other feelings that I'm sure so many of you can relate to. And Bailey has had a wild summer that you've heard a little bit about, and that you'll hear more about on the next episode.
Big moves, people, big moves.
And we're happy to be back, and we are going to try to be so regular.
We are going to be so regular.
Yeah. But yeah, that's, I think, all we have for today. We'll hop back on the Instagram to check in with everybody, and maybe do some like polls or something about future episodes. But we have a general idea of sort of where we want to...
Yeah, I think we want to go for this season.
Yeah, but we would love input also.
For sure. So,
yeah, that was a fun intro back.
Yeah. I hope everyone is having a good start to school and has a way to gain their sanity and relax and just kind of take a minute to breathe. Fall is coming.
I know. I was just going to say yay for fall vibes.
yay but nay.
I know. No,
our
I feel
summer
that.
here is so short.
I know. And it feels even shorter because we were gone for a chunk of it, but
I'm not ready for pumpkin spice yet.
No, I'm not either. I just give me 3 more weeks and I probably will be, but
yeah, I agree. All right. Well, I think that's good.
Yeah.
We will talk to you all soon.
Yeah.
Or if Torie was saying it, talk to y'all soon.
Talk to y'all soon. I like saying y'all.
I know,
okay.
It's cute.
See you next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.